Hello there and welcome to my channel Bobo Buns So Vintage Life. It's lovely to have you join me here today. Now I'm a vintage inspired seamstress and a dressmaking teacher, so I love to share all my things vintage, sewing, history, days out, finds, treasures, whatever you'd like to call them, with you here on my channel. So today's video I'm going to be focusing on this dress that I've made because I've been having a foray into learning how to draft my own patterns. It's really exciting, finally being able to work out how to recreate vintage designs I've seen from pattern envelopes, advertising, you name it. So I'm going to go through a little bit of how I made this dress. So I shall see you just after the little film, and then we'll go through this dress. Winifred Aldrich and Gillian Holman for pattern cutting, they're my two go-to books. I use Winifred for drafting the blocks, which I'll show you at the moment. I'm not going through how to make the blocks, I'm afraid. It's just how I've worked from my block to then create the bodice that I wanted, with the v-neck and the midriff section. So I'll show that to you in a moment. Now for this pattern I'm just working on small templates, and this is from the bodice block. So I cut up the waist dart and I'm going to cut up from the shoulder dart so that from the hinges I can slide it around to get a bit more mobility. I want to close up that waist dart so that I can then create the midriff section. And I'm no expert at this, I have managed to get some sellotape there, but other times I keep faffing to get my sellotape. So I've got that secured down. I'm just marking the point where I want the v-neck to come down to, and the point where I want the midriff to rise. Obviously these will be more accurate measurements, and up on the side of the waist they're more accurate measurements, on the actual bodice. This is just to show you the principle. Oh gosh, and hold your paper down while you're drawing. So I've just drawn across, you can see, for that midriff section, and then I'll make a couple of marks, notches, so that I can match both pattern pieces when it comes to using this. And just to note, all of these pattern pieces are without the seam allowance, so you would then need to add the seam allowance to them all afterwards as well. I'm just marking because this one will be cut on the fold, this centre front, and that will be the midriff bit all done. And then I want to create the v-neck, so I'm going to slide that shut, that shoulder dart, and some sellotape on my fingers, so at least I thought ahead with that one. Then I'm going to just even off that bit of the shoulder, not worrying about the other bit that's sticking out because that's going to come out in the v-neck. So just back the neckline a little bit away from there so that I can create and join those two lines up to make my v-neck. And just know I am not an expert in this. This is me being learning as, trial and error as I go along, and I'm just trying to show you what I've been learning. So now to make your v-neck, we need to draw a line from the bust apex again to that thing, because they tend to gape and stretch out. So we just need to cut through that line so we can overlap it a bit. And for a smaller bust, you do it about 1/2 centimetre, and a larger bust like mine, I'd overlap it by 1 centimetre. But obviously this is going to be a teeny tiny bit. You can see it leaves a space that we'll need to fill in afterwards as well with a bit of paper. So I'm just going to tape that down to overlap that, and then stick another little bit of paper underneath. And you can see I'm not being very precise here, but it's just to give you, the general idea. Also for this dress, I just constructed the bodice, but the sleeves, I knew the Bella Tea dress from Liberty, they were exact sleeves I wanted, and I used the Sew Over at London tea dress for the skirt because I'd used that before. I just worked so hard on this bodice, I just could not be bothered to draft the other pieces. Call me lazy, but that's what I wanted to do. And it was a last minute decision to make a couple of bows to decorate it rather than buttons, so I was really chuffed with it. And now I've got my pattern pieces, I need to just mark that I will have to gather in here. I actually ended up doing some pleats, so I cut the pattern up a little bit more because the gathers gave a bit of a poofy appearance over my bust, but that's what I did. And here's my finished dress with some of the inspiration from vintage patterns. Show you what I was trying to recreate. I did think about making shoulder yokes, but I thought, you know what, we're learning this skill right now, so don't make it too hard for yourself. And I'm really, really chuffed with the fit I got. Enjoyed my video today and found it useful. I love to hopefully inspire you with ideas, as I have been inspired by others along the way of my sewing journey. It's all about the sharing, isn't it? You know, and finding creativity where you can. So I love sharing my sewing adventures with you, what I'm learning, making, yeah, and if you then want to make the same, then isn't that just wonderful, because you've got some ideas there. So please comment. I love the chats with you, and subscribe if you don't want to miss my videos. I know they're getting a little bit sporadic at the moment on different days. I've got everybody here at the moment. I don't want to wish the time away till university starts again, but yeah, it's very difficult sort of balancing work and trying to find time to do my videos, because I don't have a space that I can film on my own. This is like in the heart of the house that everyone has to walk through to come from upstairs through to the kitchen, the bathroom, and get outside. So I'm kind of bang in the middle. So I just have to wait till nobody's around and try and squeeze in. So it can be a bit mad sometimes trying to film these videos. So from sometime in September, I will be able to get back to a more regular schedule, because there's so much I want to share with you, but a lot of it goes by the by because I just run out of time. But I think you enjoy what I put out there. I hope you do. Anyway, so until next time, thanks for joining me today, and I shall see you very soon. Goodbye.